Welcome to the Assemble It Yourself channel and our fly rod cartop carrier assembly video.
Good afternoon. My name is Tom McIsaac. I live in Torrance and been fly fishing for since 1974. And one of the frustrations, as many of you know, is having to break down your fly rods to put them back away in your car. Especially like me, I have a Subaru. A lot of times, guys with big trucks, they have it made, but us that drive smaller vehicles, we always hunted for a nice roof rack that we could have for putting our rods in, and I found numerous ones on the internet, YouTube and what have you, but they're always pricey, $500 all the way up to $700. And so one day I was voicing my frustration to my neighbor Bob, who's an engineer, and he came up with a great design that and it works great. And throughout the video, after we're done here, you'll see he'll explain the different parts that he created himself with 3D printer and being an engineer. A little bit out of my league, but I'm going to tell you right now, we've tested it. It works perfect. I highly recommend you watch the rest of this video and listen to Bob, and maybe contact him when you get a chance to talk about pricing and what have you. And I think you'll be really excited about this product. Go ahead, Bob.
Okay, well, I'm Bob Patterson. I'm the retired engineer here. So when Tom expressed his desire to have the cartop carrier for his fly rods, I thought, well, that sounds like something interesting. And he showed me a video of someone actually making a do-it-yourself carrier that he put on his roof rack. But with that one, and he uses PVC pipe, which is what we do as well. But what he ended up with was one that essentially had the reel exposed. So if you're driving in weather or whatever, you really don't want to put it up there on your roof rack like that. So I decided to build a box that we could attach the tubes to, and it would protect the reels, and then you could also lock it up and keep it safe from being stolen if you're stopping for lunch or whatever. I also incorporated a mechanism to lock the carrier onto your roof rack, so again, someone can't steal that as well. So yeah, that's what we are doing here. Is we're going to go into the assembly of this rooftop carrier for 2 fly rods. I can make 2 variants, or 3 if you want that. One for 1 fly rod, one for 2 fly rods, or I could probably extend the design for 3 fly rods. It's just a matter of what you'd like to carry on your roof.
And I just want to add that you'll see during the process that instead of using the pool noodles, which are real fragile, they break, they come apart, Bob used a PVC foam, right?
But it's foam made for water pipe insulation.
Yeah, well, anyways, it works. It works smoother. The eyelets go in better. It fits tighter. It secures your rod better. And like I said, with him building the box on there, you don't have your reel exposed. Even though some of the YouTubes they use the foam reel holder, which would work, but again, it's a product of yours. Your reel rod or your reel holder would get exposed to bugs and rocks and what have you. With the plastic box on the end of it, it protects all that, and you don't have to use your reel holder to do it. So in my opinion, as a fly fisherman, I love it, and it's easy to install because it has knobs to secure it to the roof rack. It's just well engineered.
Okay, so with that, let's get into the assembly.
This slide provides links to a representative sampling of the commercially available fly rod cartop carriers. Just pause the video if you want to write down the URLs and check them out. If you are interested in an Assemble It Yourself kit, join me at the end of this video and I will explain how you can get it.
All right, in this step we're going to glue the bolts into, the nuts rather, into our handy dandy knobs for attaching the rack mounts to the bars on your car. So here we go. We're going to take some super glue and put the glue into the hex space in the cap. Then we're going to take a bolt, take the nut off the bolt, and insert that nut into the hex space so it fits nice and snug. And we'll let that set for about 5 minutes and should be good to go. So in this next step we will be gluing the bolts into the base of our rack mounts here. You can see on the bottom, I don't know whether you can see that very well, but there are hexagon cuts in the bottom and the bolts will fit into that. So we'll start by putting some super glue into the hex cutouts. I like to go all the way around, make sure there's a good bond once the bolts are in there. I'm just going to do 2 for right now, but when you do it, just go ahead and do all 4 at the same time. Once you got the glue in there, take the bolts, just press down and make sure they're securely seated inside the hex cutouts. And got a nice little click when those went in. So that's what it should look like. You can see the bolts in. All right. Okay, so in this next part we're going to prepare the rack mounts. The rack mounts will come in 3 parts. We have the base here. You notice that they already have the bolts inserted into the base on there, and then you can see we have a feature to allow locking the tubes onto the roof rack, so again no one should be able to steal it from you. We got the top of the rack mount, which will go over that like that. Okay, and then the final part is the actual tube holders, and it'll fit in like that. So what we need to do is glue those in with PVC pipe glue so that they will stay there forever. So what we're using is Odie medium clear PVC cement. Get it at your local box store, so when you buy your PVC pipe you can pick up a can of this as well. And it's pretty simple here. You just take a little bit of that, goop it down inside the cutout. So you got a good amount in there, and you just insert the tube holder. Make sure it's firmly set in there, and then just let that set up. It might take a few hours to fully set up, so we're going to set that aside and do the next one. There's our next one. Put a little bit of glue in there, and of course I didn't bring my second tube holder. So again, just insert the tube holder in there, Make sure we get a good through. Got a little excess glue in there, so we'll just wipe that off.
And Bob, these are all the parts that you made with your 3D printer, right?
That is correct.
None of these you bought. They were all made by you with your 3D printer.
That's right. I actually designed them and printed them. Measure the length of the PVC pipe and cut it down to the length for your rod. So Tom here is going to lay out his rod and reel next to the pipe, show you kind of how to lay it out, and then how to mark the pipe for cutting down to the right side. Okay, so right now we've got the rod and reel laid out, and as you can see there, the reel is about an inch and a half back from the end of the tube. That's roughly the right distance to be back. So there's plenty of room to play with. Alright, and then as you go down the tube, find the end of the tip of the rod there. And Tom is going to use a piece of tape to mark on the tube where to do the cut.
Of course, if it's white, Bob, they can use a magic marker, but with black, it don't work so hot.
Right. Okay, so he's gonna, before he cuts that one, he's gonna mark the other one sitting next to it.
See, that's why you're the engineer and I'm the fisherman, because you think ahead.
Okay. So now Tom is going to use his hacksaw with a fine blade on it to cut the pipes.
A sharper blade would help.
Okay, so he's done with the first one. Now he's going to cut the second pipe here. Okay, that's how we cut down the pipes to the right length for your fishing rod. Okay, so this next step here is we're going to measure and cut the water pipe insulation foam down to the right length to go inside our tubes. And the second part of that will be to actually cut about a 1/4 inch out of the circumference of the foam tube to make it fit better into the bigger tube. Okay.
The outer part is the foam insulation, and you have to join it right there with some duct tape because it only comes in 6-foot lengths here. And then what I'll do is I'll cut off that end to match the tube.
Okay, so in this part, Tom here is going to take a straight edge razor blade, preferably the new one that is fairly sharp.
Absolutely.
And he's going to make sure that the foam is lined up so it's the right length, and then he'll cut that piece off there. And when he's done with that, the next step is we'll use that razor blade to cut about a 1/4 inch from the circumference of the foam tubing to make sure it fits inside the 2-inch PVC pipe. Okay.
Okay.
So once you go ahead and,
Okay, you want me to cut just a 1/4 inch off?
yeah, a 1/4 inch. Should give us plenty of play inside the PVC, lengthwise. We want to take it out of the circumference, so it's 1/4 inch lengthwise along the seam of the
okay.
water pipe.
I remember now.
So again, this doesn't have to be real exact, just about a 1/4 of an inch out of the circumference. And in the next step of our preparation, we'll show how we use duct tape to kind of close it up and form a nice smooth inside.
Be sure to have a supply of sharp blades because it doesn't take long to cut through this foam to wear the razor blade out. This one's already pretty rough shot. And I'm removing this part right now, so when you close it back up again, it fits back into the tube better. It slides in nice, and it works perfectly once you get it inside. A little bit of that foam out, it slides in real nice. And what we'll do is we'll tape it in certain sections along to bring it tight, but it'll fit in real nice and slide where when it's at its full capacity, it won't slide in very well.
Yeah.
The second one was more of a bitch, because this cuts real easy here. But the second one, I had to work at it. Okay, as we talked earlier, after you cut that 1/4 inch section of it out to bring the tube smaller to fit into the foam to fit into the tube, you take little sections of duct tape and periodically along it you just squeeze it together so it stays nice and firm, so when you slide your rod in it doesn't get hung up.
So you're going to do a wrap about every 2 inches.
Yeah, about every 2 inches it works the best.
And I recommend that you go all the way around the tube if you can.
That's a good point, Bob. I'm not paying attention here what I'm doing. It does make it more firm. And as you can see, it's bringing it close together, so when you have it inside the tube, the eyelets from the rod won't get hung up.
Okay, so now that we've wrapped the parts of the tube with the duct tape, now we want to tape the two pieces together end to end so that you got one contiguous tube.
Now, out here where we're at in California, they only come in 6-foot lengths. Now, where you're at, you might be lucky enough to get a full 10-foot piece of foam, but that's what, when it comes together, that's what it looks like. And it all slides in real nice, and the eyelets will go through it real easy.
When you tape them together, you want to make sure that the two ends are as tight together as you can. That way there's no voids that the eyelets of the rod can get hung up on. Okay, so the next step here is making sure we've got smooth ends on the end of the PVC pipes that we cut off, as you can see here. So we're going to take some sandpaper and just smooth it out. So you got a good smooth end there. It's mainly for aesthetics than anything else.
That'll help your little bullet end to go in nice too.
All right.
Hey, okay, Bob, you want to explain the double rod set now?
All right. So now we've got our tubes together here. We've inserted the foam insulation inside the tubes, and we've slid the tubes into the rack top mounts top section, and so that they're kind of an equal length here. And what we're going to do, we're going to set this on top of the rack on the car and make sure that we got a good measurement so that the hatch on the car will open up without impacting on the wheel box. All right, so we're going to lift this up and set it up on top of the car. You want to make sure that the rack mounts are about the right distance apart for your rack, not critical.
And that'd be the cross members on the roof rack, right?
That's correct. So here we go. All right, we need to adjust a little bit here. All right, so those are sitting down all right. You might have to have someone hold it down a little bit because it's a little front heavy the way it is right now. So Tom, if you want to go ahead and grab that and just hold it while I get the reel box.
Okay. 3 reds on.
All right. So now that we've got the tubes on the rack, we want to take the reel box and insert that into the end of the tubes. That, and then we're going to open up the hatch to make sure that it does not impact. And there we go. Now that we've figured out where the rack mount top needs to be on the pipes, we're going to take a little bit of masking tape or duct tape, and we're going to put it right up against the ring of the rack mount.
And that's so you know where to glue it when we're done here, right, Bob?
That's correct. Okay. We'll take
go.
the box off and we'll take the tubes off the top of the car and we'll start gluing.
Okay, we'll be back to you in a moment.
All right, so now we're going to kind of do our final assembly and gluing to make sure it's all tied together and properly fitted. So we measured with our masking or duct tape where the clamp should go. But before we glue that, we're first going to glue our box on here onto the end here.
And we've already inserted the foam, right, Bob?
We've inserted the foam. We've pushed it up a little bit so that we can put some glue in there for the foam, and then the foam will get glued to this end so it won't slide in and out with your rod and possibly hang up.
Excellent, excellent.
Right, so we're going to start with our OD medium clear PVC cement here that we're using. Take a loop of that and just go all the way around on the inside there, a good coating of it. Before we insert the box, I think we're going to wipe a little bit of the excess off. It's already dripping. Let's see. Hang on. All right. So we got a paper towel here. We're going to just kind of get some of this excess off. Make sure we don't glue our box to the floor. All right. So we want to go ahead and...
Hold up, Bob. Just a minute. Let me get...
So we're sliding the box up against tubes nice and tight against the box. And so that'll have to set for a little while to set up. And the other thing we want to do, now that the box is on, we're going to come to this end and push our foam insulation back in so it's up against the box.
And the glue.
And it'll get set in the glue. Okay. Okay, so one of the things that I forgot to mention was we want to make sure that the before the glue sets, that the writing on the PVC pipe is down so it doesn't show.
We got to have it look sexy, Bob.
That's right. Okay. So that's setting up. We have our marking for the tape here.
So we just need to push those rings back just a little bit before, or glue, once you glue it, we'll slide them back, huh?
Right, we're going to run a little bit of glue on the pipe.
Now, so everybody understands, these two rod holders or tube holders will be glued, where the other ones will be kept free so you can mount it to different cars, right?
Right, so we're gluing the back rack mount top part so that it's fixed and make it harder for someone to take it off your car. We also have a lock mechanism on there so that you can lock it to the car. So once we have the ring of glue in there, we're going to run it back to our mark. So right about there.
And let it set up, huh?
Make sure that the box is so good. We can go ahead and take that duct tape off. Okay, so that will set up.
So we'll just let it go for a couple minutes or a while, Bob, huh?
That's correct. Well, we've got a couple more things to glue here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing we want to glue on is we have this front brace to kind of hold the front part of your tubes together. So we're going to glue that on. First thing you want to run it onto the tubes.
Now, how far would you recommend them to run that brace down, Bob?
I'd probably go about a foot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not critical. Yeah, the idea is it holds the tubes together in the front. Okay, once you get it about where you want it.
Okay, Bob, just so in case anybody was wondering like me, because I'm a fisherman and I'm not an engineer, that will be glued and that rack will be glued. However, this one here will be allowed to slide back and forth between them depending upon how far apart your roof mounts are, or roof braces.
And the reason I'm leaving that one unglued is so that if you do get a different car, you can actually put this on a different car. Okay, so we're going to run a little bit of glue on the pipe where we want to end up with the brace. And then we run that brace back up over the glue. And that will set up. And then the final thing that we have is we've got these little end caps, kind of look like the front end of a bullet. We're going to put those, again you want to run the glue inside the tube. And then just set the end cap on there. You might want to get some tape or something to make sure it stays on tight. I think I'm going to do that just so we get a good set.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it very interesting and easy to understand. Again, if you have any questions, you can give Bob a call. He'll post his email on it and what have you. We've road tested it a couple times. Been up to, don't tell the highway patrol, but we've been up to 80 miles an hour on it. It works very well. I took on some bouncy roads. No problem whatsoever. It's a highly secure item. As a fly fisherman, I love the easy use, the easy installation, and I love the fact that I can lock my rods to my rooftop, and I can lock the box so nobody can get into my fly rod. So, is it absolutely theft-proof? No, nothing is. We all know that. But for the opportunist thief, it's not going to work. For anybody that drives a Subaru or a smaller SUV type vehicle where you can't get your rods in there, this is the perfect item to have for you. And I'll close with mine saying it's one of the best products I've ever used.
Okay, so I want to say I had a lot of fun working this with Tom. You know, I do a lot of trial and error with the printing, but you know, that kind of comes with the territory. But yeah, it's been a fun project, and if you hang on at the end of this video, I'm going to add a little more on to show you how to contact me, and if you're interested in a do-it-yourself kind of solution for carrying your fly rods. And you know, I make other products, so I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, and keep tight lines as you go.
This is a hobby for me, not really a business. I 3D print the kits once we agree on an order. It takes me about 3 days to print all of the parts for the kit. If you're interested in getting a kit, contact me at the email address shown. A single rod carrier will cost $200, a dual rod carrier will cost $250, and a triple rod carrier will cost $300. I also have other products that I've developed. Here's a list of some of them. If you are interested in any of those products, contact me and I'll provide you with more details about the product you are interested in. If you have an idea for something you need or want, contact me with a description and I'll see if it's something that I can design and print. Thank you.